Ferruccio Lamborghini walked into Ferrari with a broken clutch and walked out with a mission. He was a wealthy tractor manufacturer, not a racing aristocrat, but his expensive Ferrari kept failing. When Enzo Ferrari dismissed him as a farmer who should stick to tractors, Lamborghini decided to build his own Grand Tourer and challenge the most untouchable name in Italy. Ferruccio Lamborghini did not come from racing royalty. He was born in 1916 to a farming family near Bologna, and his first education was not in boardrooms or showrooms. It was in engines, tools, and broken machinery that had to work because people depended on it. During the Second World War, he served as a mechanic with the Italian Air Force. That experience mattered. He learned how machines failed, how parts wore down, and how to improvise repairs when the correct component was not available. Ferruccio did not simply admire engineering, he understood it from the inside out. When the war ended, Italy was damaged and short on equipment. Farmers needed tractors to rebuild production, and Ferruccio saw the opportunity clearly. In 1948, he founded Lamborghini Trattori, using his mechanical knowledge to turn surplus military parts into affordable agricultural machines. The business grew because the tractors solved a real problem. They were strong, practical, and suited to Italy's recovery. By the 1950s, Lamborghini was no longer just a mechanic with a workshop. He was an industrialist with money, confidence, and a reputation for building durable machines. That success opened a door to a new world: luxury Grand Tourers, fast Italian cars, and eventually Ferrari. Ferruccio Lamborghini bought Ferraris because he respected what they represented. The cars were fast, beautiful, and built by the most admired name in Italian performance. For a man who had made his fortune from engines and machinery, owning a Ferrari was a natural reward. But living with one was different from admiring one. His Ferrari 250 GT was powerful, yet it was also loud, rough, and temperamental. Ferruccio did not expect a luxury Grand Tourer to behave like farm equipment. He expected precision. The problem that irritated him most was the clutch. It failed repeatedly, and every repair meant inconvenience, cost, and another reminder that this expensive machine had a weak point. To Ferruccio, that was unacceptable. A clutch was not a mysterious racing secret. It was a mechanical part that either did its job or it did not. Then came the detail that made the issue impossible to ignore. When the clutch was examined, Ferruccio recognized that one of its components was similar to a part used in his own tractors. In his mind, the flaw was no longer just annoying. It was familiar, practical, and fixable. That changed the complaint from a customer's frustration into an engineer's challenge. Ferruccio believed Ferrari had built a brilliant car with a basic mechanical weakness, and he thought he knew how to improve it. So he decided to take the problem to the man at the top. Ferruccio Lamborghini would confront Enzo Ferrari directly. Ferruccio arrived with the confidence of a paying customer and the vocabulary of a mechanic. He was not asking Enzo Ferrari how to build a racing car. He was pointing to a specific weakness in a grand touring car he owned, and he believed the fix was obvious. What happened next has become one of the most famous arguments in automotive history. The exact words vary depending on the source, and some details have been retold so many times that legend and memory are hard to separate. But the center of the story stays the same. Enzo Ferrari dismissed Ferruccio Lamborghini as a tractor maker, a man who had no business criticizing Ferraris. For Enzo, Ferrari was not just a company, it was a racing institution built through victories, risk, and reputation. He had little patience for a wealthy industrialist walking in and telling him that his cars had a basic mechanical fault. For Ferruccio, the insult landed differently. He had built his fortune from machines that had to work every day, under load, in heat, dust, and mud. Being called a tractor maker was meant to put him below Ferrari. Ferruccio heard it as proof that Enzo was ignoring the problem. That meeting became a collision between two powerful egos. Enzo saw a customer overstepping. Ferruccio saw an arrogant manufacturer refusing practical criticism. Ferruccio did not leave Maranello looking for an apology. He left with a challenge. If Ferrari would not build the refined, powerful, reliable Grand Tourer he wanted, then he would build it himself. That decision turned an insult into a new company, Automobili Lamborghini. Automobili Lamborghini was founded in 1963 in Sant'Agata Bolognese, a small town only a short drive from Ferrari's territory. That location was not accidental. Ferruccio was building his new car company close enough to Maranello for everyone in the Italian sports car world to notice. But his target was not a racing car with license plates. Ferruccio wanted a Grand Tourer, fast, elegant, comfortable, and usable. It had to cross Europe at high speed without punishing the driver, and it had to feel engineered for wealthy customers who expected refinement, not constant compromise. To make that real, he hired serious talent. Giotto Bizzarini, one of the engineers behind Ferrari's legendary 250 GTO, was brought in to design a new V12 engine. His concept was powerful and ambitious, with racing influence built into its bones. Then Lamborghini's young engineering team had to turn that idea into a production car. Gianpaolo Dallara helped refine the chassis and mechanical package, making the car less like a competition machine and more like the sophisticated road car Ferruccio had imagined. The first public proof came in 1963 at the Turin Motor Show. Lamborghini displayed the 350 GTV prototype, a striking coupe with a front-mounted V12 and enough presence to make the industry take him seriously. It was not perfect, and it was not ready for customers, but it announced that this was more than an angry rich man's project. By the Geneva Motor Show in 1964, the production 350 GT arrived. It was smoother, cleaner, and more practical than the prototype. Lamborghini had a factory, engineers, a working car, and a philosophy that stood apart from Ferrari. The tractor maker had become an automobile manufacturer. The 350 GT proved Ferruccio Lamborghini could build a real high-end car. It had a V12 engine, refined road manners, and enough quality to be taken seriously by buyers who normally looked toward Maranello. Then, in 1966, Lamborghini revealed the car that changed everything. It was called the Miura, and it did not look like a traditional Grand Tourer. The body was designed by Bertone, with Marcello Gandini shaping one of the most dramatic silhouettes ever put on the road. It was low, wide, and almost impossibly exotic, with headlights set into the front like eyelashes and a cabin pushed forward over the front wheels. The engineering was even more shocking. Instead of placing the V12 engine in the front, Lamborghini mounted it behind the driver across the chassis. This transverse mid-mounted layout was closer to a racing solution than a luxury road car, and it gave the Miura proportions and performance that felt futuristic in 1906. At a time when Ferrari's road cars were still mostly front-engined Grand Tourers, the Miura made the old formula look suddenly conservative. It was not just fast, it changed what people expected a dream car to be. That is why the Miura is widely regarded as the first true supercar. It combined outrageous design, extreme mechanical layout, and road-going usability in one machine. It created a new category above the sports car, one built as much on spectacle as speed, and that was the real humiliation for Ferrari. Ferruccio Lamborghini had not simply built an alternative to Ferrari. The tractor maker had forced the most prestigious sports car companies in the world to rethink the shape, layout, and identity of the ultimate performance car. A clutch complaint, an insult, and one man's refusal to stay in tractors created Lamborghini. Whether every quote is perfectly documented or not, the result is undeniable. Disrespect helped build a legend. Thank you for watching. Comment below, was Ferrari's dismissal arrogance or exactly the spark Lamborghini needed?